Here's Alex Capilouto. I hang her up on my wall, and this is why. I was going to the Arizona border a few years ago. I got this in the mail, and I got this letter. Derek, please take Alex with you to Arizona. She should have been graduating from Arizona State University this year. She was killed by a single counterfeit oxycodone pill that came across the border. Thanks for everything you do. God bless. Alex's dad. Here's a 21-year-old beautiful kid going to graduate ASU, goes home on Christmas break, and mom finds a blue in the bedroom dead. So when I started seeing this stuff, I got totally crazy passionate that I'm going to help these families. And that's been my mission. We had a rally a couple of years ago at the Chinese embassy downtown DC, started spreading awareness. I went and testified at Congress. I brought all these collages. You could go watch it on YouTube, throwing these things up, holding them up, showing all these congressmen and women that knew nothing about this, and started stirring up the pot on national news, changing the narrative from drug overdoses to drug poisonings. This is China's destabilizing of America, destroying our future generation. And most Americans have their heads up their ass and not paying attention to it. This is not a red or a blue issue. It's a red, white, and blue issue. Every American should care because China is dominating in the drug crisis right now. And especially now, they're picking up millions and millions and millions of dollars from the drug cartels all over America. And they're laundering money like we've never seen in the history of this country. And most Americans are not paying attention to this. This is a huge national security threat. So this is what I've been fighting for literally. I did a documentary, for example, with Sarah Carter from Fox News and some other American patriots. I did that. It's called Not in Vain. I'm sorry. Not in Vain was the first documentary we did because there was a beautiful young girl in Ohio, Marin Riggs, who died, and her mother, Heidi, got with Sarah Carter. We did this film, and then we started realizing how bad it was when I learned of this admiral from the U.S. Navy got the call in 2017, Sandy Winterfeld, his son, University of Denver, freshman, dead in the dorm from fentanyl. The next day, Eric Boland, used to be a Fox News, now he's Newsmax correspondent, 8 o'clock show. His son, dead, got the call day after Admiral Winterfeld. So now I started getting really focused on this topic and starting doing more research, talking to the agents in the streets of DEA. Now I'm retired now. And I do this, and I work with the nonprofits all around the country. I hooked up with the Lost Voices of Fentanyl. I go out and I speak at conferences around the country. I go on the TV, like I said, I do podcasts, I do radio shows, anything I could do. And by the way, I don't take any money from anybody because this is about giving back so we can save some lives and we can support the army of families that are doing God's work because the government is sleeping. And I will tell you this, what really pisses me off is that the number one story I hear from thousands of families is that they didn't even know what fentanyl was. They never heard of it. Their kids had anxiety. We all have anxiety. Look at me. I'm like a lunatic right now, screaming and yelling. We all have anxiety. We all have issues. We all have family problems, no matter what, we can admit it or not. So people do want to use medicine to help them because they see mom and dad using Xanax. Xanax, when it comes from CVS, is a great drug if the doctor prescribed it to you. But if you buy it from your friend or you get a pill from the street or you go on social media, it's going to kill you. So the kids don't hear this because the kids are not listening to this podcast. They're not watching mainstream media. They're not watching cable news. They're watching video reels all day long on TikTok, Facebook, social media, Instagram, whatever. Here's the problem. I've been asking the government very loudly. If you check my March 1st testimony, you'll hear it. I want the White House to use social media influencers, celebrities. I want them to use role models and professional athletes to do 45-second videos, put them out on social media so the kids see them. Otherwise, they're going to continue to die.
Yep.
And this is my thing. There's a documentary called Dead on Arrival. It's 21 minutes long. It's the most impactful video I've ever seen. My friends, I work with all these families. They tell the story of what happened with their kids. I would recommend that every family in America sit down with their kids, their grandkids, their nephews, their nieces, and watch this 21-minute film. There's no excuses because it's not long. It will keep you on the edge of your seat the entire time. And that's why I push it out there. I have no vested interest in this at all. but I know how powerful it is. I use it in every presentation that I do. And I know that anyone in America that watches it will really get a wake-up call. So anyway, so what I've been really doing is, of course, I do my job. I love working with law enforcement. I love supporting law enforcement. I stand up for law enforcement in the news every time I'm on the news because they can't stand up for themselves. I tell the truth. I get real-time information from law enforcement around the world, for that matter. I try to get the public the best and most accurate information, and I try my best to stay out of the politics. I get pulled into the politics, unfortunately, but it's not by choice. Like, for example, Joe Biden in December of 21 told America that the international drug crisis is a national security threat to this country. Okay. In the end of March, Mayorkas, our Homeland Security Secretary, said that the deaths from fentanyl is the single biggest challenge we have in America. But yet, together, this administration has allowed a wide open border where the cartels operate with impunity, work with these Chinese criminals that want to destroy our country, and yet they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. So how can I not be political with that? Because it's common sense. I don't care who's in the White House. You can't say this is a national security crisis and then not be accountable for what you're doing at the border. It's not making sense. And what's going on now with the end of Title 42 is a major shit show for everyone in America. I don't care if you voted blue or red, doesn't matter. Wait till they come to your city. Wait till they go to your schools. Wait till you have 20 languages. Wait till you're paying your taxes. Wait till you go to damn hospitals and you sit in the emergency rooms because they're all going to be in the emergency rooms. Now, my heart goes out for these people. I'm very big supporter of immigration, but legal immigration, not illegal immigration. My friend Tom Holman, the former ICE director, he said it perfectly. It's now legal to be illegally in America, here in America. Like, think about that. They're sending mixed messages. You wonder why the kids are screwed up. And you wonder why the depression, the anxiety, because our own government is creating it. You know, I could go on all day, dude. You get me started up with this because, I mean, I live this every day. But most importantly, like people in the national news media at times have said, Mr. Maltz, you know, tone it down. You're a little quiet. I had one of the congressmen in Tennessee, Steve Cohen. Mr. Maltz, can you please tone it down? No, I can't turn it down. Kids are dying at record levels, and you got your head up your ass. You know, and that's the problem. So like I can only go at one level when it comes to these kids and these families because it's heartbreaking. Now we're making the collages with the families with only teenagers on them. And when you see these beautiful kids, they could be anybody's kid. They are not drug addicts. They are kids. Sometimes they had a problem, they had anxiety, whatever it may be. Sometimes you do get some kids that are addicted to opioids and then they go to the street. But a lot of these kids are not what people think. And the stigma on the drug crisis is totally wrong. People are turning away from it because they say, the families, they weren't paying attention. This is a family issue, whatever. No, it's not. It's everybody's issue because it's impacting our country and our future.